All right, good evening and welcome to our channel, Princess Sits. We thank the Lord once again for bringing us right to this moment. And today, the 12th of September 2025, I'm going to be dropping a very important and vital message tonight, just in expectation of our delivery. And I want you to please pay careful diligence and attention to me seriously when expectations are quite so high and the atmosphere is tense right now with anticipation. It becomes extremely important that every beneficiary takes responsibility for their registration process and also be certain of the details they submitted. The reason is because a lot of people, in their rush to secure a slot, when are registered through several channels, some through their NGOs and others through some coordinators, and some other ones through online platforms like the Google Forms. And while registering online is not necessarily wrong, the real question is whether such registrations can actually be traced, whether it can be verified and also linked back to the central system that is going to be used during the disbursement process. Now, this is not a period for you to assume or hope without confirmation. If you're still in doubt about the platform, form, or NGO you registered with, I think my strong advice is that you take an extra step to verify your registration. If you cannot confidently confirm that your registration is authentic, then I guess the wisest decision is to re-register under a reputable and verifiable NGO that you can hold accountable. So by so doing, when alerts start to drop, you will not find yourself excluded or lost in a maze of untraceable data. Prevention in this case is far better than regret. For you to know, I just need to drop that so urgently and quickly. Then there have also been cases of folded banks, the likes of Heritage Bank and others. That's a pressing matter concern those who registered with bank account in institutions that have since collapsed, such as the Heritage Bank or other banks that may no longer be operational as at now. And this is a serious issue that must not be swept under the carpet. Imagine the painful reality of having to wait patiently for years only to have your alert bounce back simply because your account number is tied to a dead bank. Now, what then is the pragmatic solution towards this? I think the first step is to open a new bank account immediately, in case you've not done this, in a functional, stable and recognized commercial bank. Then do not wait until the last moment. We've seen DMs like this come to us at different times of all the folded dead banks. Do not wait until the last moment. Once you have your new account details, you must notify your NGO heads or your cluster leader and also request that your records be updated accordingly. It is their responsibility, and I repeat, it is their responsibility to make sure that your new details are captured in the system before the disbursement blast actually begins. Now, for those who may be wondering if this is truly necessary, let me emphasize something to you for the records. Yes, it's absolutely necessary. Banks that are folded cannot process funds. The system may still show your old details, but when money is sent, it will bounce back. And in most cases, bounced funds are very difficult to reclaim very quickly. So for you to avoid this kind of painful ordeal or painful story, it's better you act now. What are you to do? Update your details while there is still time. There are some irredeemable situations that once disbursement kicks off, you can't just adjust them. They're gone and gone forever. They fizzle into thin air. Then I have to delve into the role of the NGO heads and the cluster heads also. And I think this is a time for the NGO heads, the cluster leaders, and the coordinators to rise up and act so responsibly. The trust of a lot of beneficiaries is in your hands. Some of you are gatekeepers to large clusters of beneficiaries, and your actions or inactions can either make or mar the experience of those who are under you. Do not take things for granted. Cluster heads, leaders, coordinators, NGO heads, do not take things for granted. Handle discrepancies right now. Before the alerts start to fly, handle every form of discrepancies right now, especially for those who are under you. Communicate clearly with your beneficiaries. Where there are issues, address them. Where people need to be updated, details them. Help them out. Where there are agreements about contributions, percentages, or administrative fees, let those agreements also be honored with fairness and dignity. Let no NGO head or cluster head behave unseemly or arrogantly towards any beneficiaries. Please remember, these beneficiaries have endured years of waiting, years of emotional distresses, emotional investments. And so to mishandle them at this crucial and critical hour will not only destroy trust, but it's going to invite some bitterness and resentment. Be guided by both integrity and empathy. Do this. That is why you are an NGO head. That is why you are a cluster head. That is why you are a CEO. Be responsible. Handle matters with integrity. Handle matters with empathy. Handle matters with concern. Everyone needs this fund as much as you need it. Then the beneficiaries also have their own parts to play. On your side, as a beneficiary, it's important to play your part very faithfully. If you made agreements with your coordinators regarding certain commitments or some contributions or payments, try as much as possible to honor those agreements. Do not try to a kind of shortchange or play smart at the last moment. The system of disbursement is built on cooperation. It is built on trust and structure. And if everyone plays their role perfectly well, the process is going to move smoothly and seamlessly. Beneficiaries, you must also try as much as possible to keep up open lines of communication with your NGO heads and coordinators. If you have doubt, raise them, but raise them in a civil manner. If you have uncertainties, seek clarifications. If you discover some changes in your personal details, such as some new bank accounts, corrections in your names, or other important updates and what have you, make sure that you communicate them clearly and responsibly. Silence at this stage could be so costly and devastating. I will not end this session without reminding you of this moment on the spiritual warnings and revelations that must not be ignored. I'm bringing it up again. My dear friend Judy, who God used just in recent times to really bring up this revelation, and I had to bring it up right to this platform. Possibly she could be hearing me right now, right on this platform. But spiritual matters does not make you know whether you know someone or you don't know someone. It's purely spiritual. And when God handles your case, you would know that nobody could be your friend when it comes to spiritual matter. It's purely spiritual, and you treat it as purely spiritual. And I think this had come before through a particular prophet who ministered to us on this platform. I brought the voice note right on this platform. I don't know him from Adam. It was a VN, and it was a warning to all the leaders and the greedy ones, the gluttonous people, not only on this platform but in the grand ecosystem. And it's coming again. So spiritual revelations and warning signals have come to light concerning this disbursement. Some of these revelations have spoken of obstacles, delays, or manipulations designed to frustrate beneficiaries, and others have also emphasized the importance of sincerity, fairness, and caution. I beg your pardon. Do not ignore the signals. Even though disbursement is a financial and administrative process, we cannot deny that the hand of God is also at work in it. For a lot of people, it's not just about money alone. It is a divine lifeline after years of struggle. And that is why it must be handled with seriousness and reverence. Therefore, let us keep ourselves spiritually alert. Pray for clarity. Pray against manipulations. Pray that every hidden agenda that's against beneficiaries will be exposed and neutralized. Pray that the hearts of coordinators and NGO leaders will be filled with fairness and compassion. This is not a time to be careless. It's not a time. Not at all. So beneficiaries, to make this clearer, I'm going to highlight what you need to know. Possibly what I've said, you didn't get anything from it. I'm going to just summarize them right now before I end this conversation with you. First, ensure that you verify your registration. In other words, confirm with your NGO or the coordinator that your registration is genuine and captured in the master system. If you register through online forms, Google Forms, insist on confirmation. If it cannot be traced, register afresh with a trusted NGO that you know or you could verify. Secondly, try as much as possible to check your bank account. Ensure that your account is in a functioning bank. It's not just about your account number now, but your bank is still functioning. If your bank has folded, like the Heritage Bank and some other ones like that, open a new account immediately. Then submit your new details to your NGO heads for record updates. Thirdly, ensure that you maintain communication. In other words, keep in touch with your NGO heads and cluster lead at all times. Ask questions when necessary. Seek clarifications. Stay informed and updated. Don't be shy to ask questions before it finally dawns. When it dawns, it's irredeemable. Asking questions is useless. Fourthly, honor agreements. If you made commitments, keep to them. Do not create conflict at the last hour by refusing to honor agreed terms. Don't create conflict. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you had an agreement with someone else before now and you're trying to bring it up right now, like as if you don't understand what is happening, maybe you made it, your mind was blind, or you were not in a good state when you agreed. Now you want Princess to correct that. I wasn't there. I wasn't in your terms and condition, and I can't be. Can only tell you how to do things straight and right. So please, honor agreements. Don't create conflict where there is none. Then stay spiritually alert. Pray for smooth disbursement. Pray against manipulation. Pray against fraud. Pray against unnecessary delays. Why this matters now more than ever is simple. Times are fleeting. The long years of waiting are about to pass into history. The blast of Allah will soon sound, and people would either rejoice in fulfillment or weep in regret. That wouldn't be your portion. You wouldn't weep. You've wept enough. It's your glory now that I'm interested in. Nobody should allow carelessness. Nobody should allow negligence or pride to rob them of their portions. We must take these final days very seriously. Every action matters. Every decision counts. Messages like this may sound like a mere reminder today, but when the alert finally drops, They will prove to have been lifelines of wisdom. Do not joke with them. Do not joke with them. The truth is simple. Disbursement is certain. The only question is whether you would be ready when it comes. Being careless now could mean losing out after years of waiting. But by taking the right steps today, verify registration, update bank accounts, honor agreements, and staying spiritually watchful, you position yourself for celebration instead of regrets. On a final word, as we stand on the threshold of history, let us act so wisely. Beneficiaries, coordinators, NGO heads, stakeholders, you must all synergize. This is not a time for pride. Neither is it a time for arrogance or laziness. This is the time for collaboration. It's a time for fairness and swift correction of errors. If you still may, let no one cry rivers when the celebration begins. Let no one be left behind because of negligence. The door could still be open to make corrections. Use it wisely. When the final trumpet of disbursement sounds, may you and your household be counted among those who rejoice and not among those who lament. This is Princess It channel. We are for the masses, for the know. In case you're new, subscribe to our channel. We love you. We would always do. We're here to serve you. We would always do. And until that miracle you long for becomes a blessed reality, we go nowhere. We stay here battled together formidably, a family of united front, until this blessed reality of miracle becomes a living testimony. We go nowhere. Please heed to these instructions. Punch in that notification bell so that when we drop a message, you get it immediately. We love you. Thank you very much. Have a nice night rest. And if we can still come your way tonight, possibly better update, better drop-ins. Thank you very much. Good night.